That's the human in the loop where you provide feedback. If you look at hedge funds like Citadel and they're having their own proprietary AI systems rolling out, not just these big Kubernetes clusters that are able to run these massive old traditional AI workloads, but now also the new AI workloads, inference and agents, multiple AI models that are specialized in various things. They do the number crunching overnight. And then in the morning, folks come in, they get a new signal, but the human decides what to do. They just read that as a signal. I think that is what really happens in the future, where companies that you build, they're actually having an entire department dedicated to this iterative process. We tried this version of an agent, we provided it with data. We don't have to hard code the rules in it, but we provided it with the data. What type of quality does the data have? Is it curated? Depending on the use case, was it reviewed by doctors in the medical sense? Is it top-notch data? That's the hedge fund example. No hedge fund wants to share their secret sauce. The secret sauce is really your data. You just have to provide the brain. The brain is the commodity that can be used anywhere else. What makes magic is the combination between the two. And the hedge funds do that great with alternative data sets that they get and then apply their AI with it. A new startup these days that has an agent, for instance, a support agent, what type of tickets have we shown the agent? New tickets, the updates, curating data sets, coming up with new versions, and making sure, again, that those are benchmarked and scored. Ideally, you have a number, and if the number goes up, you're doing great. If the number goes down, you probably added a support case that shouldn't be in there. And that way, you get the direct feedback, and then folks provide to the agent, see how the agent performs, and based on that, take decisions to try to source the right data, refine the agent for the right data. There's this whole thing about like data is the new oil. We build refineries. Businesses have their own customer data as the number one proprietary resource that these big brains, when they were trained with, never saw. That's very proprietary to you. And that's the sort of like one defensive mode that you can have if you have your own AI agent, by providing them just with that, providing the feedback with it, and then tweaking that. The long term, there will be two types of work. One type is you tell the AI what to do. You know, if the AI tells you something that is hallucinated, look back, look at it again, try it differently. And then the other type of tasks are the ones where the AI comes to you, tells you, I did this work. Can you review that for me? Is there hallucination in there? And you do that as well, but it's more like you take the work from AI. The economy is sort of like split in these two sort of things. And then what that does for companies and enterprises, of course, the top performers, those are the people that are like very like expensive for companies, and they're very hard to get, and they have a lot of bargain power. Replacing this with an AI is essentially like making a way better business case, so they can save a lot more money. And then the other part is where AI comes and you are reviewing it. You essentially, similar to an email inbox, you get like tasks from the AI and you look at it, and with your business acumen, specific knowledge, if you're a small business or an enterprise, you can decide if that makes sense. Think about building in a hedge fund or financial services, a trading desk. You get the signal, but you still decide, should I buy it or not? Not the AI. That has implications on jobs, like in law. There's the business ethics that you shouldn't do that alone. Like there's a lot of talks about one startup that is $1 billion, but the reality of things is like, if I want to be type 2 compliant in these sort of things, if I'm just the only person in that startup and I write code, it needs to be reviewed by a human. And the human needs to approve it before I merge it and deploy it to production and so forth. We're far from having the AI being able to very accurately review it like another human would do. And a lot of the software engineers doing this, actually, if you look at GitHub and the profiles, a lot of the time of the work is not just writing code, again, to the idea, oh, it's the shiny object building new machine learning models in that pipeline, but actually all the other stuff. That's the majority where the time gets wasted. A lot of the engineers already doing a lot of reviewing and PR reviews, comments, and so forth. And that doesn't change for them. They're just doing this maybe like a little bit pre-digested by AI that points them to the right parts, but there needs to be a human in the loop that actually approves it and puts the trigger being deployed to production and customers are using it.